So we'll be doing some post-run yoga, feeling pretty sore in the hips. It'll be more of a hip opening class, I think. Okay. We'll start in child's pose. You can rock the head side to side, rolling on the forehead and focusing your attention to the space between the eyebrows. Lift up the chest a little bit, crawl the hands forward in front of you. Slowly let the hips sit down. Think about decompressing the low back where the lumbar vertebrae connect to the sacrum, that triangle, working its way into the tailbone. Breathe into the backside body. Inhale, drift forward, shoulders over wrists. Allow the belly to sag, lift the chin, lift the tailbone, maybe not too high. Now you might wag side to side, one ear towards one shoulder, and shoulder towards the hip. Maybe that wagging side to side gets even more dramatic, taking up lots of space. Arch the back, press into the ground like a scared cat. Allow the shoulders to come slightly past the wrists and tuck the toes, sit the hips back towards the heels. Lift the knees up into your chest. Allow the head and neck to hang heavy between the shoulders. Lower the knees, ripple back forward to tabletop. Draw the right knee towards the right wrist, slide the left foot back behind you. Pick up the back knee, make some space in that hip. And then heel toe the right foot closer towards the opposite wrist. Finding pigeon for a moment, and it's a pretty angled pigeon. The shin is not so parallel. Okay to be very angled back, an early pigeon. Walk the hands out in front of you just a little bit. Maybe walk both hands over towards one side. Gaze back over the shoulder. Walk the hands over the opposite side. And choose which side maybe you want to linger a little bit longer. Come back through center. Walk the hands out in front of you. Lower onto the forearms. Allow the head to hang. Come back up onto the palms. Thread the right hand underneath the left arm, lower down onto right shoulder and right ear. Thank you. Crawl the left hand underneath of the right arm, lower down onto the left shoulder and left ear. Maybe you take a half bind by lifting up the right hand towards the ceiling and then rotating so that the back side of the hand finds the small of the back on the left side. Slowly unwind your bind. Ground the right hand down, press down to unthread the needle. Both hands out in front. Take a few nice deep breaths. Lift the chin, puff the heart out. Chin back down towards chest. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Send the right foot high in the sky, three-legged variation. Shake the leg out, bending at the knee, and then lower the right foot down next to the left for downward facing dog. Ripple forward to plank. Drop the knees, sit the hips back onto the heels, child's. Walk the hands over to one side. And keep walking until you get a really nice deep stretch in the side body. Breathe into that space. Carry the hands back through center and over the opposite direction. Mindfully walk the hands straight out in front of you. Lift forward to plank, to tabletop rather. Draw the left knee towards the left elbow, lengthen the right foot back behind you further. Heel toe the left foot over towards the right wrist, finding your early and angled pigeon. If the left glute is lifted, let it stay lifted. Might bring the hands out further just a little bit. Maybe you walk over to one side, gaze back over the shoulder. Walk over the other direction and look back. Choose one side to linger on. Then bring both hands back out in front. Slide the right hand underneath of the left, lower down onto the right shoulder, right ear. You might even pick up the left fingertips towards the ceiling. Make some circles with the fingers, warming up the wrist. And then rotating the hand, the back side of the hand finds the small of the right side of the back for half bind. Slowly unbind, reground the left hand, press into the earth to unthread your needle. Both hands on the ground in front of you. Take a second to neutralize. Work into your hip, but not too far. Then tuck the left arm underneath the right, lower onto the left shoulder, left ear. Unthread your needle, bring both hands in front, roll onto the left hip, swing the right foot around in front of you, and then plant the right foot outside of the knee. Plug that knee into chest, and then stack your spine. Allow both sits bones to be grounded down on the earth. Notice any gripping or tension. It could be in the hip, the outside, the inside. It could be in the face. It could be around the eyes. Try to relax those places. From Matsyendrasana, hook the left elbow on top of the right knee. Bring the right hand back behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen, grow tall. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Exhale, without forcing, slowly twist and turn. The top hand can stay lifted, or it might lower down onto the foot on this side. in stillness, or make half circles with your chin, either along your chest or up towards the ceiling. Find some stillness so that you can unwind. Walk both hands around towards the left side. Rotate the body around. We're spinning on the knees. Step the right foot back, then the left foot. Find down dog facing the opposite direction. Roll out the legs. Turn the head side to side. Lift the hips as high as they can. Ripple forward to plank. Drop the knees. Sit the hips back towards the heels. Slide the hands out in front of you. Melt into child's. Rise up to tabletop. Little shoulder to hip shrugs, those lateral bends side to side. Maybe even making ovals with the hips, ovals with the circle, with the shoulders. One direction and then the other in the dancing lion. Slowing down, place of stillness. Find your equilibrium. Kick the legs around to the side. Sit back onto your sits bones. Bring both legs out in front of you. Sit up tall. Fingertips back behind you. Shoulder blades, draw them together. Walk forward over the legs. Try to keep a flat back at first. And then allowing the spine to round, the head to melt down towards the legs. Slowly curl up. Bend the right foot in towards the glute. Step the left foot outside of the right knee. Hug that knee into chest. Sit for a moment to ground both of the ischium, the sits bones, down on the ground. Imagine the crown center of your head has a string lifting you up towards the ceiling. Hook the right elbow on top of the knee. Draw the belly button into spine on the inhale. Exhale, slowly twist and turn. If the elbow hook on top doesn't feel good, you can just hug that knee into chest as you twist. The top hand might stay lifted, or maybe you lower it down onto the foot on the same side. Don't go too far. If there's any stinging or sharp sensations, sensitivities that you're aware of, just come back a little bit. Be soft and gentle with the body. We'll all unwind and come back through center. Heel toe, or encourage the left foot to move further back towards your glute, kind of stacking the knees one on top of the other. And if this isn't quite possible yet, you can stay where you were in the Matsyendrasana version. Ground the sits bones into the floor. Hands will come on top of the feet. Maybe you make a loop around your big toe with the thumb and pointer finger. Maybe you take the peace fingers and hook the big toe. If it feels good and appropriate bind for you. Make a flat back. Find an exhale to tilt forward at the hip crease. Breathe all the while. And find that point of pause where you really feel the stretch, and stay in that space. That's where the work is. Don't move beyond it. Just waiting. Know that with time, the body will naturally release. If it feels like too much, you can always come up a little bit. Bring the hands out in front of you, roll forward onto the knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips. You've got crossed legs. Rotate around towards the right side. You're spinning on the balls of the feet. We'll pause for a second in this wide-legged forward fold. Shift the hips side to side, sensing into the inside of the hips. Maybe you bend one knee for a side lunge, skandasana. Bend the other knee, a pretty short and narrow skandasana. Find stillness to inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. You don't have to take the legs any wider than they are. It's okay, we have a pretty narrow, wide-legged forward fold. Now we'll keep walking the hands around to the right. You're spinning again on the balls of the feet. Keep walking around to the right. Heels rotate. Legs will cross. Now, if you notice, the opposite leg is crossed on top. Lower the knees down to the ground. Lower the hips. Hands come on top of the feet. We're in Gomukhasana, cow face on the other side. Take a second to arrive here. Maybe now you adjust, sending the left foot further back towards your glutes, stacking the knees, wiggling around, finding that place of harmony. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. You can bring the left shoulder to your left ear, or rather the left ear to the left shoulder. Chin to chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin to ceiling. Few more of those neck rolls. Switch directions. And now find stillness in the neck. Aware of the connection of hands to feet. Stack the spine. On an exhale, tilt forward at the hip crease. Notice the breath, breathing against the thighs. Perhaps you keep folding forward. Maybe you walk the hands out in front, lift up onto the knees, tuck the toes, lift to the hips. Now walk the feet back to down dog. You can deep bend into one knee and then the other. Ripple forward, lower the knees. Swing the legs around to the side. Come onto the sits bones. Scooch forward, bring the soles of the feet together. Hands are still behind you, hips are very open towards the ceiling. Wiggle side to side. And now we'll lower down onto the back, using the elbows as support. Allow the hands to flop out to the side. And reclined butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Draw the right knee in towards the glute. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Press the left knee down towards the floor. Release the press. Hug the left knee into chest. Kick the left heel up towards the ceiling. And lower the foot down towards the floor. Switch sides. Bend the left foot into the glute. Cross the right ankle on top of the thigh. If it can't quite reach the thigh, maybe it's the knee, maybe it's the calf muscle. You might give yourself a little support there. Now press the right knee down into the space beneath it. And breathe. Hug the right knee into chest. Send the sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling. Flex the toes towards you and lower the heel down to the ground. Like both knees into chest, making little circles. You can bring the knees out wide. Hug the knees wider than the width of the body. Take the blade edges of the feet or the ankles or the shins. Press the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Open the knees out wider. Press the knees down into the body in a happy baby. You take a few stretches back and forth, extending the soles up and then the knees down. Eventually we'll lower the legs straight out in front, reach the arms overhead, nice big long stretch as long as you can make yourself. Extend the left arm and the left leg further out. Extend the right arm and the right toes further out. Release the body. Capture the right wrist. So left hand takes the right wrist. Pull the right hand over to the left side. Walk the feet over to the left side. Cross the right ankle over the left. Enjoy a nice long side body stretch through the right hip, the right underarm, the right elbow. Return the arms straight out overhead, the legs directly in front of you. Pause for a moment. This time bring the hands over to the right side. Capture the left wrist with the right hand. Give a little tug. Walk the feet over towards the right. Hook the left ankle over the right. Stretching through the left IT band, the left flank, the left underarm. Breathe into those spaces. Eventually release. Place the soles of the feet on the ground. Stretch the hands towards the heels. It's okay if they don't touch. Ground the soles of the feet, the hands, the forearms. Tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Pick up the hips. Roll up the spine to the top of the back. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Imagine squeezing a block between the knees. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher. And bridge. Exhale, slowly roll down the top part, the middle part, lower part of the spine. Take the knees into chest to neutralize. Yourself a hug. Rest comfortably. We'll roll onto the side. Allow the head to rest on the tricep. Press down into the earth, come up to a seated position. Now we feel ready to sit in Sukhasana. One ankle can be sealed against the pubic bone and the other ankle touching the heel. The other heel touching the ankle. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears, let them slide down the back. A few shoulder circles like that. Draw the hands together behind the back. Move the shoulder blades together and down. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin up. Left ear, left shoulder. Let the hands drape over the knees. And we'll end our practice with a short meditation in lieu of Savasana so that we can continue on throughout our day. So now there's nothing left to do except to just be here now. Bring some energy into the spine to sit up tall, but not with too much effort. Sense the places of your body that connect with the ground beneath you. Allow the hips to release the grip on the knees. Feel the low belly breathe in and out. In, out. Let the corners of the eyes soften. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Let there be space in the jaw. Allow the shoulders to feel heavy. Be aware of the body sitting. Sit and know you're sitting. Stay aware of the body breathing. As you breathe in, know that you're breathing in. As you breathe out, know that you're breathing out. Find stillness and relaxation now. Take a big cleansing inhale, slowly filling up from navel to chest, shoulders and neck. Slow and controlled exhale down the midline of the body. Start to flutter the eyes open. Bring the hands together at heart center. I vow to you and honor you. Thank you for practicing. Have a good rest of your day.